Hey everyone, today we're diving into something that might challenge everything you believe about relationships. We've all heard that love conquers all, right? But what if I told you there's something even more fundamental than love? Something that determines whether your relationship will thrive or slowly crumble. That something is respect, and today we're going to explore why it might just be the real MVP of lasting relationships. Let's start with something that might sound controversial at first. Think about it. Love can be this wild roller coaster of emotions. One day you're on cloud nine, the next day you're questioning everything. It's beautiful, but it's not always reliable. Respect, on the other hand, is like the concrete foundation of a house. It's not as exciting as love, but without it, even the most passionate relationship can collapse. Here's the kicker. You can actually love someone deeply while disrespecting them constantly. Just think about those toxic relationships where people keep going back to each other despite being treated poorly. That's love without respect, and it's a recipe for disaster. You might be thinking, but we love each other so much. Let's look at some signs that your relationship might be running on love, but running low on respect. First, let's talk about communication. In a respect-poor relationship, you might notice these subtle but damaging patterns. You know that feeling when you can't even finish a sentence without being cut off. That's not just annoying, it's a clear sign that your thoughts aren't being valued. When your opinions are met with eye rolls or quick dismissals, that's love without respect speaking. And perhaps the most painful, when every argument becomes a greatest hits collection of your past mistakes. That's definitely not respect. Next up, boundaries. This is where many couples who love each other to death still go wrong. If your partner regularly goes through your phone because they love you and want to protect you, that's actually control masked as care. When major decisions about your shared life are made without your input, that's not love taking initiative, that's respect taking a backseat. Continuously ignoring your stated preferences, even in small things like food choices or social plans, shows a fundamental lack of respect. The way your partner treats you in public can be very telling. Those funny stories that actually make you feel small, that's not sharing joy, that's sharing power over you. When private matters become public conversation fodder, that's not openness, it's a violation of trust. If your decisions or opinions are regularly contradicted in front of others, that's respect flying out the window. Finally, let's look at what happens behind closed doors. When was the last time your partner showed genuine appreciation for the things you do regularly? In a respect-poor relationship, expectations often feel like demands rather than requests. If your needs consistently take a backseat to theirs, that's not sacrifice, that's disrespect. Let's break down the fundamental differences between love and respect. This comparison might help you understand why respect is actually the bedrock of lasting relationships. On one side, we have love, beautiful, powerful, but sometimes unpredictable. On the other, we have respect, steady, reliable, and always conscious. Love is primarily emotional. It's that butterfly feeling, that rush of oxytocin. It's powerful, but not always rational. Respect, however, shows up in your actions. It's about how you treat someone, regardless of how you feel. Remember that love at first sight concept. That's because love can hit you like lightning, instant and intense. You can't rush respect. It's earned through consistent actions and choices over time. Just like any emotion, love can rise and fall based on circumstances, stress, or even how much sleep you got last night. Even when you're angry or disappointed, respect can guide your actions and words. Love often comes with a desire to hold tight, to keep close, sometimes too close. Respect understands that true connection requires giving space and supporting independence. When we act from love alone, we're often reacting based on how we feel in the moment. Respect is about making deliberate choices about how to treat someone, regardless of your emotional state. Now, let's explore why respect has more staying power than love in long-term relationships. Here's something powerful to consider. While love sometimes feels like it happens to us, respect is always a choice we make. Every single day we choose how we treat our partner, how we speak to them, how we think about them. This conscious decision-making is what makes respect so sustainable. Think about it. You can respect someone even when you're frustrated or angry with them. In fact, some of the most important moments in relationships are when we choose to act respectfully despite strong negative emotions. That's something love alone can't always help us do. When there's respect in a relationship, both partners feel safe to be vulnerable, to make mistakes, to grow. You're not walking on eggshells or afraid of judgment. This psychological safety becomes the foundation for genuine intimacy and growth. Unlike love's grand gestures, respect shows up in small, consistent actions, keeping your word, honoring boundaries, acknowledging mistakes. These daily choices build a fortress of trust that can weather any storm. Perhaps most importantly, respect allows both partners to maintain their individual identities. You don't need to merge into one person or sacrifice who you are. Respect says, I see you as a complete person, separate from me, and I value that. Let's break down the 4 essential pillars that make respect work in relationships. These aren't just nice ideas, they're practical principles you can apply starting today. The first pillar is autonomy. This means recognizing that your partner is their own person, with their own dreams, interests, and needs. It's about supporting their independence, rather than trying to control or change them. When you respect someone's autonomy, you're saying, I trust you to make your own choices, and I'll support your journey. Next up is integrity, the alignment between words and actions. This isn't just about being honest. It's about being reliable and consistent. It means following through on commitments, acknowledging when you're wrong, and being someone your partner can count on, even in small things. The third pillar is consideration, the art of thoughtful action. This means actively thinking about how your choices affect your partner. It's checking in before making plans that impact both of you, remembering important details about their preferences, and showing up for them in ways that matter to them, not just to you. Finally, we have growth. This pillar recognizes that people change and evolve, and that's a good thing. Respecting someone means supporting their personal growth, even when it challenges you. It means creating space for both partners to learn, adapt, and to become better versions of themselves. Let's get practical and talk about specific ways you can build and strengthen respect in your relationship. Here's something that might surprise you. Building respect in your relationship actually starts with you. When you respect yourself, your values, your boundaries, your needs, you create a model for how others should treat you. It's like setting the minimum standard for your relationship. Next, we need to talk about active listening. This isn't just about staying quiet while your partner speaks. It's about truly seeking to understand their perspective. Put down your phone, maintain eye contact, ask clarifying questions. Show them their thoughts matter enough to deserve your full attention. When your partner sets a boundary, whether it's as simple as, please don't share this story with others, or as significant as, I need space when I'm upset, treating that boundary as sacred builds tremendous respect. Think of boundaries as the architecture of respect in your relationship. This one's tough, but crucial. When you mess up, and we all do, acknowledge it quickly and cleanly. No excuses, no, but you also. Just a clear acknowledgement, a sincere apology, and a specific plan to do better. This kind of accountability builds respect faster than almost anything else. Remember how unique your partner is, their quirks, their passions, their peculiar way of doing things. Actively celebrating these differences instead of trying to change them shows deep respect. It says, I don't just accept who you are, I actually value it. Here's a powerful truth that can transform your relationship immediately. In every single interaction with your partner, whether you're tired, stressed, or upset, you always have a choice. These 3 words, respect over reaction, are your relationship's superpower. When you're tempted to snap back, to dismiss, to defend, or to attack, choosing respect means pausing and asking yourself, how can I respond in a way that honors both of us? This isn't about suppressing your feelings, it's about expressing them in a way that maintains dignity and trust. Think of it as playing the long game in your relationship, where every respectful choice is an investment in your shared future. Let's turn everything we've learned into concrete actions you can start implementing today. Start each day by noting one thing you genuinely respect about your partner. Share it with them, but be specific. Don't just say, I respect your work ethic, Say, I respect how you stayed focused on that challenging project yesterday, despite all the interruptions. This practice trains your brain to actively look for the admirable qualities in your partner. Make it a habit to check in about boundaries every couple of weeks. Simple questions like, are there any areas where you feel your boundaries aren't being respected? Or how can I better honor your personal space? Can prevent small issues from becoming major problems. Remember, boundaries evolve, and regular check-ins show you're committed to maintaining respect. Here's a game changer. Implement the 24-hour rule for any significant decision that affects both of you. This means no immediate demands for answers, no pressure for instant agreement. This pause creates space for both partners to think clearly and feel respected in the decision-making process. Create specific respect rituals in your relationship. Maybe it's a weekly tech-free dinner where you give each other undivided attention, or a morning coffee routine where you share your plans for the day. These rituals become anchors of respect in your relationship. Set aside time each month for what I call growth conversations. These aren't problem-solving sessions, they're opportunities to discuss your individual and shared growth. Talk about your dreams, fears, and how you can support each other's evolution. These conversations show respect for each other's journey. Before we wrap up, let's cement the most important lessons about respect in relationships. Remember, while love may feel like something that happens to you, respect is always a conscious choice you make. Every day, every interaction, you have the power to choose respect. This is actually empowering because it means the quality of your relationship is within your control. We often hear, "I didn't mean to hurt you," or "my intentions were good." But respect isn't about intentions, it's about impact. Your consistent actions, more than your thoughts or feelings, build the foundation of respect in your relationship. Many people fear that setting boundaries will push their partner away. But we've learned that the opposite is true. Clear, well-communicated boundaries actually create the safety needed for genuine intimacy and trust to flourish. Finally, understand that personal growth and relationship growth go hand in hand. When both partners respect each other's individual journeys, it creates space for both the individuals and the relationship to evolve and thrive.